Hey guys, my name is Stephanie and I just got home from the gym. Go Dogs! Love you, Georgia. And I recently graduated from Walden University Psychiatric Mental Health Nurse Practitioner Program, and I'm going to give you some tips and maybe answer a few questions that you might have. So like the video. They just did a redo on the exam, and it's a fresh, brand new exam, started on April 28th. So I just took it. I took it the day that it came out. So I'm about to give you a few tips, and after the video, let me know what you think. So before I get started, I'm not paid. Nobody has offered me any incentives or pay to put the information out there. So just wanted to put that out there before we get started. I recently took the ANCC exam for the PMHNP program, April 28th. It was a Friday. It was the first day that the new test had come out, and I had done a couple reviews, to get ready, but my test got postponed because I did not pay for my exam. I thought that I was going to get my authorization and then I could just go ahead and pay. So I mixed that up, and I didn't know that I had to do that. So anyway, if you are ready to take your test, make sure you pay for it before you get your authorization. Hi, Barbie. This is my pup right here. Say hi, Barbie. Okay, so anyway, so I took the test the very first day that it came out. It was 175 questions. ANCC gives you 3 hours and 25 minutes to take the test. There's no scheduled breaks in the exam. So out of the entire test, I flagged about 59 questions, and I reviewed every single one of my questions, and I still had about 20 to 30 minutes left over. I think it was right at 22 minutes. When I reviewed my 59 questions that I had flagged, I changed probably 5 answers. So majority of them I had kept the same. I flagged them if there was any inclination that I just wasn't 100% sure on it. So anyways, changed 5 of them. Okay, so the exam. Let me tell you how I did. Okay. So I was a little bit nervous when I left because, let me tell you, so at the end of the exam, they ask you probably 5 times, are you sure that you want to push submit? Because once you push submit, you can't go back. And it asks you again. And so the second time I'm like, do they know something I don't know? Am I not doing good? Do I need to go review some? So I thought about it for a minute. I said, you know what? I already did the best that I could do. So I just pushed submit again. And then it said one last time, are you sure that you want to submit? You cannot go back. So anyway, after 3 or 4 times, 5 times, I can't remember because it was all a blur. But anyways, I pushed submit, and then I was expecting to see either a green check with a pass, which is what some former classmates had said would show up if I passed, or like a fail, like big red fail, in bold letters, but I didn't see either. I don't know if I was just clicking so fast that I didn't see it, or if they've changed it since the new test came out. But it said the only thing that it said was your results will be emailed to you within the next couple of hours. And so then I clicked OK, and then it just X'd out, and it said, the administrator of the computer will escort you out. And I said, oh man, did I just fail? Like, what am I going to tell my husband? What am I going to tell my new job that I already had an offer, So I had all these negative thoughts running through my head because I knew that I failed. It was a really hard test. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was not easy. There was a lot of topics on there that I had heard of, but there's no way to know everything. You're not going to get 100%, but there was just so many topics that, it was in-depth questions. And anyways, so I'm walking to my car, which was about probably 4 blocks away, because the testing center was in a very big college town and there's not a lot of parking. So I was walking 4 blocks and finally get to my car in the parking deck, and I'm updating my email, trying to check and make sure that it hadn't come in yet. And I was so anxious. I hadn't even called my husband or anything. And I just kept updating. Finally, after about, I would say 30 minutes or so, just sitting in my car, Prometrics, that's the company that I tested through, the results came through and it said your results are in, and click the link below. So I clicked the link below, and I'm in a huge parking deck. So of course there's no service, and I'm freaking out. because I was anxious to know, and I was just, I thought that I already failed. So I just wanted to see what my score was. So I opened the email and it says your score is below. And I said, oh, I definitely failed, because I know if you pass, you don't get to see your score, but if you fail, you do. So anyways, it was a little bit misleading, but I clicked the link and it popped up a big, you passed, and it was the official letter, ANCC, you've passed, congratulations, et cetera, et cetera. I screenshotted it so fast because I said, oh my God, what if this is a mistake? I don't know. I was thinking of everything in my head, but anyways, I ended up passing the exam, and I'm very proud of myself. But if I had to give you one piece of advice, do not get down on yourself and be patient, and try not to stress out, because you've been through school and you've been through all the hard stuff and you made it this far. Like, you will do fine. As long as you know your material and you didn't slack off in school, you'll do fine. So a lot of people that are in school, classmates that are a little bit behind me, they've asked, like, what do you do? What did you do for your review? Or, what helped the most? And I did a few different things, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about both. So first I did Dr. Georgette Q, the LMR. It's basically like a 6.5 hour condensed review. I took the course on a weekday, and it was from like 11 to 6 or something odd, and you get a 30-minute break. And it was a lot of information just crammed in. It wasn't really in-depth information. It was basically like topics, and this is what you need to know. I found it helpful to kind of reiterate the topics that I already knew very well, to kind of hone in on what I needed for the exam, but I didn't find it as helpful for the actual exam. I would say maybe 10 to 15 questions came from content that she had covered in the LMR, but if I had to do it over, I probably would not take that again. It was kind of expensive, but it had a lot of positive reviews through Facebook, and there was no negative reviews, probably because she gets to filter all that out. So I would not do the LMR again. She also offers some modules that you can take, which may have helped. I did not take them. It was just too much money, and too much information overload for me. I just kind of wanted to get a review. Like, I know the information, I just kind of wanted a little bit of something to reinforce. So it did that for me, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're struggling on some topics, or you need more in-depth type of review. So I also read the Purple Book from front to back, and I would say more than anything that has the most information, if you can read and retain the information, the Purple Book beyond anything is gold. If you have the time and the energy and the commitment, read the Purple Book from front to back. If you're in school, if you're about to graduate, if you've already graduated. Okay, so then I also did the Roche review. A lot of people didn't like it because they said the rationales were too in-depth, but I think this was the best. I think this is absolutely the best thing that you can do if you're preparing for a nurse practitioner exam, is do as many questions as you can. Read through the rationales and make sure you understand everything that it's saying, because the exam, the ANCC exam, it's not memorize schizophrenia and these are going to be the symptoms they present to you. You have to know the information about everything about schizophrenia, and you have to be able to critically think. So they're not just going to ask you what the symptoms are and pinpoint you to a disease. That's not how it works. And some of the reviews I've noticed from other classmates telling me, and also the one that I took, that it's just like, here, memorize this information and put it all into 6 hours, and then you'll be fine for the exam. But that's not true. It's not true. So anyways, I found that Roche review was the most helpful for preparation for the exam, mainly because it goes in depth over a variety, numerous types of questions. And right when you do it, you know what you did wrong. So Roche review, they give you, a little over 1,700 questions, and based on how well you do, it'll give you a probability of passing. After doing all the questions, 1,700, I redid some, but before I redid any of them, my probability of passing was 89%. So I felt confident after doing that. However, they also offer a readiness exam, and my school paid for it through the program that I did through Walden. So I took the readiness exam and I only scored about 65%. So I didn't do too good, but so that kind of like made me think, maybe I'm not ready. But I went through every single question that I didn't get right and just understood what I got, what I needed to fix or what I needed more work on or learning or reading or whatever. And so the Roche Review, definitely my favorite review program. If I had to give somebody the best advice, it would be take Roche Review and do as many questions as you can. Okay, so the other thing that I did was Stat Pearls. I did not pay for anything. They offer a free question of the day. So every day a free question would come in and I'd answer it. And I say I'd probably got 80 to 90% of them right. And then it also tells you how other people, like what they guessed on that specific question. So that was very helpful. And it's very similar to Roche Review, the questions. So it's very in-depth and it kind of breaks down what you got wrong and, or, the topic and why it was wrong. So just make sure you understand that. So my biggest piece of advice for the ANCC exam for psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner is to know all the information in and out. If you're gonna use a book to, just review the information, purple book, and make sure you know everything about it. Don't just memorize the hot topics or what goes with this and what goes with that. It's not going to be specific questions like that. You have to be able to critically think and you have to use your brain. You have to know this information because you're about to be a practitioner working on real patients and diagnosing and prescribing, and you really need to know the information for safety and, for your career. So be able to critically think, and if you don't know the information, just read and read and read. If you have any questions after this video, please feel free to comment below. This is not typically a channel that I talk on. This is a family channel that we've created for our kids and just to, have a good time with each other and record it kind of like a photo book. So if you like this video, please comment below, give me a like, subscribe, and if you don't want to miss any videos in the future, please turn on your notifications for the video. So like over here, subscribe over here. Thank you for watching.